I want to have some real talk. No one's perfect. And these wacky standards that we've come to set based on stereotypes that are based on only seeing fractions of people's lives on things like social media, it's just bonkers to me that anyone would ever compare themselves to someone that they can only see the best of. You're not seeing their worst. Even when they say they're showing you their worst, you're seeing them at their best with their worst, not at the worst with their worst. That's an unachievable standard, this perfection thing. We all know it, and yet for some reason, we still let these little things seep in. And the funny thing is the people who flash these things that we've decided are symbols of achievement, those people are usually the most unhappy of them all, unhealthy of them all. So why are these our standards of measurement when it comes to success? Shouldn't our standards of measurement when it comes to success actually being happy and healthy, not having some material item? No one's perfect. No one's perfect. But we are attracting what we are. So if you want to be happier and healthier, if you want to feel loved, you have to be that for yourself. There is this quote that I have no idea where it came from, and I know I sort of misquote it every time, but I heard it when I was young, so it's been a while. If you want it, you have to stop chasing it. Because if you want it, it's only when you've finally forgotten about it, truly let it go, that you can attract it, that you can receive it. And what I realized about that wasn't because you'd given up on it, but because you forgot about it, because you realized that receiving it didn't actually happen that way, and that you ended up creating it for yourself instead. That's why I've stopped saying you're worthy. Because people seem to think when they hear that they're worthy, that means it also belongs dropped in their lap. That's why I started saying you're capable. Because you are capable. You can do anything for yourself. And it was interesting because I started realizing many years ago when I was asking myself, why do people come to me? And I started asking people, and what I realized was that it was because I was loving them for who they were in the moment while still holding the door open to new possibilities. There is never a bad time to start. There's never a bad time to try. Our brains are infinitely capable, ever expanding. We have this weird idea that like when our brains scientifically stop creating brain cells at a certain point, like that's just our peak, our plateau, and that's it. We don't stop evolving. We don't stop having the potential for evolving, that's what I should say, until we die. It's never a bad time to start. It's never a bad time to try. You can perpetually, throughout your entire life, be growing and expanding if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to try. My favorite quote of the day that I've been putting in everything is that falling isn't a failure. The failure is falling and not getting back up. The failure is staying where you've fallen. And it's true. Making mistakes isn't a failure. The failure comes with not trying again. That's the final point where you've stopped. But as long as you're trying and trying and trying again, you haven't failed yet because you haven't stopped. There's still that potential for success. You're still succeeding because you're still trying. I want you to stop and ask yourself. I ask this of a lot of people. Is the way you're living right now creating true happiness? Not little unsustainable dopamine hits like a high, but true sustainable happiness. And pretty much everybody I've ever asked this question of, the answer was no. But that's the thing, is you don't have to be chasing that high. You can create sustainable happiness. And it starts with not comparing yourself to anybody else but who you were yesterday, and then continuing to try. May the energy you serve you well. And keep making your way through. I know you can.